Hey everybody, welcome back to FSP Forex Stock Predictions. Hope you are all having a great day. Today is Thursday, the 1st of September, and today we are on the DAX 40. We're looking at a possible double bottom inside of the 4-hour time frame. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so we can see that we have seen nothing but bearish price movement since we've hit this daily resistance line up above around the 16th, 15th, 16th, 17th of August. We can see that we have been doing nothing but making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, right? So what am I looking for? I am noticing that this could look like a possible double bottom. However, when I was looking at this chart about an hour or two ago, this right peak was not as deep as it currently is right now. So that in itself makes me think we have less of a chance of this formation actually forming, right? Because the second peak is a little bit deeper than it should be. However, the divergence is still intact, right? We can see we have full divergence. I have to drop these arrows slightly because that second peak is deepening, right? But look at what the MACD is doing across those two peaks, right? Clearly we can see that the second peak is deeper, right? I wouldn't want it to get deeper than what it is right now. Let's switch this back to a color we can see. Change from the dots back to the line. Change from, I don't know why it's 3. Should be 2. There we go. Right? We can see that the second peak is deeper than the first, but we do have divergence on the MACD, right? The MA lines are sloping upwards. The histogram is sloping upwards. So this should tell us at some point in the future, it just gives us a little bit of confluence that we will see buyers step in and the bulls take control. All right. Now, what do we need to see, right? Well, do we see that the top of this neckline, this yellow zone, let's shrink this MACD again so we can zoom this up. We can see that this top wick right here of the yellow zone coincides nicely with previous support, right? This was once support. We broke through it and now we retested it as a resistance line, which becomes our neckline, right? It's the very most top point of the double top in the middle of the pattern, yes, which also coincides really nicely with this descending trend line, which we can see has been working well since the top of this daily resistance zone. When we peaked out around the 17th of August, we can see we've been sloping downwards. We've tapped it once, twice, and now we've tapped it for a third time, and the third tap was indeed the top of the double bottom pattern, which coincided nicely with previous support flipped to resistance. So we have all these confluences working together here, right? The only thing that we're seeing right now is the second peak dipping a lot lower than it should. However, you know what? If it dips deeper than this, if it dips to, where are we sitting right now? We're currently around the 12630 price point. There is technically a rule about how deep these second dips should go or how high they should be if we were doing double tops. Right now, to me, it still looks tradable, but I would want to see this start to reverse on itself as soon as possible. I'm just going to put the Bollinger Bands on there quickly because we are probably outside of one. Yep. As expected, we are outside of one, and generally when this does occur, if we could see some bullish type of candle in the next few 4-hour candles, preferably one that engulfs the previous few candles, then we can say, not for certain, but it helps us, give us a little bit of confidence to maybe think that the bulls are returning. All right, so far so good. If this dips any lower though, I'm going to have to call this pattern null and void. It completely will become invalidated, but so far it is still tradable, but it is only tradable if we see the following. You guys know what I'm going to say. We need to see strong bullish impulsive action. We need to see candles come out of the sky, right? Out of the ground, actually, rather, right? Out of the ground, pushing up through this descending trend line, pushing up through that and pushing up through the neckline and closing above this neckline. If we can do that in 2 or 3 or 4, maybe 5 candles, if we can do that whole sequence of moves, the less candles, the better, right? Because that clearly shows an impulse, right? If we do it in 1, 2, 3, 4, and it takes us about 20 candles to get there, then we can say that the bulls are weakening, right? That the buying power is not as strong. Because look at this impulse on the left here. You see how the bears really brought that price down strongly. Within 3 candles, bam, we dropped quite significantly. So we want to see the same going up, right? Because if we do see candles, strong, just a few impulsive candles push up and close above, then we can safely say the bulls are back. But again, having said that, there is that old saying that the bulls take the stairs and the bears just jump out the window, right? It takes a lot longer to climb up than it does to get thrown off a cliff. Right? When you get thrown off a cliff, prices crash, just like we see in crypto all the time, right? But when you're climbing up slowly and solidly, making higher highs and higher lows over time, it is a slower process. But with something like this, we're on the 4 hour, we need to see some impulse. We need to see a leg up because we've only been making lower lows and lower highs. So we need to see a movement upwards, especially overtaking this yellow zone here because it was previous support, flip to the resistance of the neckline. We need to flip it again back into support. Only if we manage that in a few impulsive candles will I consider entering upon the retrace to the next zone, targeting daily resistance once more. It really is as simple as that. The divergence does help, but this volume currently that we are seeing, look at these large 3 bearish volumes. They're standing out there quite intensely. We do have a little bit of bullish volume right there. However, it is not strong enough. We need to see some bullish volume arise from the ground. Take over these 3 right here. Okay, so we don't know if this is going to happen. However, I just wanted to show you guys how I would trade the pattern formation, right? Because double bottoms and double tops are the same pattern across every time frame and across every market. You trade them the same, right? I trade them the same. I use the same rules. I use the same entries. I use the same way to find targets and to find my stop, right? We all do it in subtly different ways. However, we trade the patterns. The patterns are exactly the same. So we need our rules to make sense and we need our entries to make sense. There's no point in entering or setting a stop order right now. We don't have any confirmation that the bulls are back. All right, so let's wait and see what happens. Guys, if you are enjoying these videos, please would you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave us a comment in the comment section, hit that little bell icon so you can be notified when we release further videos. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. See you later.